Hey everybody. Wait for a few people to join. Okay, so I think I'll start. Yeah. The other one was like a month ago. Hey Kilo, Artul, ASR. Yeah, you're the first one to send today. Were you? Oh, yeah. By the way, I'm doing these other ones first. Okay, I'll start on this one. I don't really like the bass on it. I think it needs the low pass filter should just be a bit more closed, because it's kind of just like a plain saw. It doesn't sound very inspiring. Or at least have the filter like close over time, so it's not just this constant like same level, like it's a bit more dynamic. It's kind of hard to like tell which is supposed to be the focus of the track here. Like I don't know if it's the ARP or the bass or what, but nothing really standing out, and like nothing standing out as the hook or anything in the track. So I think you should maybe pick an element and try and focus on it. Bit better here is where the ARP just feels like it's a bit more up front, so I guess that's the focus. you could give that bass line a break over here. So either filter it out or just use a different bass patch or different instrument or something. It's I think it just kind of feels like a bit much for it to be hearing the same bass throughout the whole track. I think the hats are also a bit quiet. Could maybe fill those out a bit more. And the snare is also really quiet. Cool, yeah, so it's like, it's not like badly produced or anything. It's, I mean, the mix is okay. There's just a few things that I think should come up in volume. And that sub is just like, well, that bass line is just too much, I think. I would only have it play in certain sections, and then for the most part, especially for the beginning of the track, just have it like low pass down to like 200 hertz, that you don't really hear it. You just feel it. And then maybe opening it up here towards the end would kind of be a nice treat. Cool, thanks for sending it in. And okay, that one doesn't work. I think the kick is a bit too like mid-rangey. Maybe just try scooping a bit of the mids out around anywhere from like maybe 200, 300, 500 hertz around there. It's also really quiet. I don't know why it's so quiet, and then over here it like seems to get louder. I like the little ARP, like the actual melody is nice, and the bass line complements it nicely. Yeah, I think you could really turn up the volume on that ARP, because at the moment, like, the loudest thing in the track sounds like that little shaker at the top. And like the rest of the drums are louder than anything else. I think you like got potentially a really nice track here, but it's just the levels are so off and it's kind of ruining it. So I think you should, yeah, get someone to mix it or try and mix it yourself again. But yeah, those levels are definitely not helping the track. But compositionally, it's really nice, I think. Like that main ARP, I think could come up like easily like 6 to 8 dB. Yeah, and then that snare roll is like way too loud. At this point you should add in some different drums, like a ride or something. Yeah, nice tune. I like it. I think you should just get it mixed and mastered. Mixed it on old Bose headphones. Yeah, I mean, even on bad speakers, you should be able to tell that this kind of stuff is, the volumes just don't really balance. So I think it just takes a lot of practice. So if you want to like release this and put it out, I think you could potentially have a nice track out there. So it's worth just sending it to somebody to get it mixed and mastered. It's nice. Hey, our tool. I do offer mixing and mastering, by the way. If you want to get it mixed, I'll be happy to do it. Okay. I just want to get a span up over here. Yeah, you can just send me a message on Discord or email me or whatever you want. Come on, Ableton. Made that fatal mistake again. Searching with sound selected. Like mixing is an integral part of the producing. Yeah, for sure. But in the beginning, everybody's bad at mixing. Best way to improve mixing is to reference tracks and just try and get yours. Like, you look at the different frequency bands on tracks, try and just balance yours the same as theirs, and just keep practicing, because you're gonna have to mix like a few hundred songs before you actually get good at it. Okay, our tool, let's go. Personally think those like hits that you have being delayed all over the place should happen about half as much as they are. So like you can space them out a bit more, I think, because they're starting to feel repetitive, and they're like too up front to be like background percussion. Yeah, I like it so far. I think it's quite nicely produced and lots of interesting little sounds happening. Only thing I would say is maybe that kick could use a tiny bit more top end on it. I like the feel of the kick, but I think just maybe a tiny bit of more of a click would help it. And I would probably look for a different clap if it was my song. Not a big fan of this melody that's playing now. I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the synth that is being played on, but I'm just not really feeling it. Yeah, so I'd say there's like nothing really wrong with the track. Like mix-wise, it's pretty good. Structure is nice. It's not really like this kind of, I don't know, dark warehousey vibe is not my personal taste. So yeah, I wouldn't say this is like my kind of song, but there's nothing like really wrong with it. Thanks for sending it in. Okay, Pixel Retoucher. David Nylans. Kick is way too clicky for me. It's like all mid-range click and like no sub, it feels like. Second pronunciation, please go hard on me. It's my second track second track I've made, so be brutal so I can learn. Okay, I'll be brutal. Yeah, so get rid of that kick and change it for something nicer. My advice for kicks is to just choose a song that you like in a similar style and sample a few kicks from songs and then try them all in the track and see which one fits the best. Mostly just the kick that's ruining the track. I think that bass stab is a bit loud too. And this beep sound is also overpowering, so I think you should turn that down. The vocals sound nice. I think for this first part where the bass is just repeating the same note, you should try and filter it in, like use a low pass filter and then start it like right around 200 or 300 hertz and then just keep opening it up until you get to this point. And then you can open it up a bit more, or you can drop it back down. Just try both, but just try and give the bass some more dynamics. It's a nice composition though, I really like it. Like it has potential. Got those vocals on Splice. Wow. What pack is it from? Sounds like that beep is a bit too detuned, like it's almost feels out of key. Also a few things like the transitions, like the crashes, like that little crash over there is just way too short. Like hits and it just disappears. I think you need to just work on those transitions a bit, maybe use like some sweeps or something just to, build a bit more tension and then have like a longer release. Same thing here, just work on those transitions. But for the most part, I think it's just, if you had a nice kick in there, you have a listenable track. It's enjoyable to listen to this track. And the vocal is really nice. And the synths all like fit nicely with the vocal. So like composition wise, good job. It's mostly just mixing stuff, I'd say. And then like drums are lacking a little bit of variation. Like over here, if you have like if you do like a little fill like that, I would expect the drums to then change after that fill. So like a shaker to come in, or another 16th note hi-hat, or a ride or something. Maybe the clap changes a bit. I don't know, anything really. Just try and make, I'd say like every 16 bars your drums should change at least. Like something on the drums should change. definitely need to tone down this synth that just came in here, because it like kills the vocal. I think that outro is like a bit long with that bass just playing the same note over and over again. I think you could keep playing the bass progression for a bit longer and then maybe just for the very last 16 bars or so. Make it that single note bass line. Okay, so just to let you guys know, I'm only going to be doing this until 5 p.m. We've got quite a lot of submissions. So if you don't want to be missed, then donate and you'll get to the front of the queue. Okay, so next up is Ilaria. Let's download that. So like in this section, the kick feels inconsistent on the top end. Like, I think it's because the click from the synth is sometimes landing perfectly on the kick. So I think you just need to sidechain that a bit more so that, you know, it doesn't feel like the kick has some high end sometimes and then sometimes it has no high end. Sorry, I'm just turning it down because it's clipping on the master. I enjoyed that transition, it was quite nice. Like how it goes almost completely silent and then comes back in. I also like the little noise sounds that you have in here. Again, this is like another one of those tracks though that is like, I don't know, this dark, only way I could describe it is like this, I don't know, industrial warehouse sounding techno that I don't listen to and I don't make and it doesn't really do anything for me, like I don't feel it. So it's kind of hard for me to give feedback on it unless there's something like really wrong with the mix that I notice. I think the high end overall could come up a bit more in volume. So maybe turn up those hats a bit. The snare could come up a bit. Well, thanks for sending that in. And who's next? Kilo.
Trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel them. I can feel them pull me down. You won't ever let me leave you. You make these nightmares come true. My heart is in the ground. You fucked me up, I'm sober now. You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel
Yeah, that kick is, it just sounds like really mid-rangey and distorted. I'll change that immediately. That synth that's going, that's way too loud. I think the intro was really nice, like compositionally. And I also felt like the vocal was maybe a bit too high passed. Yeah, so composition I think is quite nice in this. It's mostly just a mix. Like the kick needs to be changed and the levels on the synths are like quite off. So like for instance that main synth you have over here is way too loud, it feels like. Especially on the high notes, it's like really loud. The vocal should be the loudest part of the track. Oh yeah, so potentially a nice track there too. Also just work on that mix, focus on working on the mix down. And if you need some nice kicks that work, I think put them in sample swap. Did I? No. In one of these channels, I don't know, I'll try to find them later. But put a few kicks in there that I use. So go and check them out. Okay, Blue Shift. This kick is, I also don't like this kick, like the click is very in your face. Like you could maybe keep the kick but just turn it down like 3 dB or maybe more. Maybe cut some of that top end out. Just don't really like the character of the click actually. So maybe I would change it. Feels like quite trancey almost, because like the bass line's just not changing. Feels like, you know, what I expect to happen now is for this to carry on with the same note and then have this like long breakdown where finally the bass changes and then some big build up. So yeah, it feels really trancey, especially with this ARP that's got like a phaser on it. Don't know if you're going for that kind of sound. And if you are, then it's fine. That sidechain is also too pumpy for my taste. You can remove the sidechain from that section or just decrease it a bit. It's a bit like obnoxious over there. I feel like the sub is maybe a little bit overpowering. Turn it down maybe a bit. Yeah, so again, that's like not really my style of music that I like listening to, like this trancey vibe. So I can't really help much on the composition. I think mix was okay, but just a few things like the kick I would work on and maybe bring down the sub. I would make that side chain like a bit shorter so it's not so pumpy. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for sending it in, Austin. Let me download it. I like the melody and the composition's nice. I think the mix is okay. I mean, it's kind of like a really quiet and chilled out mix. So it doesn't, like, the drums don't feel very like big and hard hitting, but it kind of fits the track, so I guess it works. maybe start removing some of the sub from this section where there's no kick. Just filter it out a bit and then bring it back in when the drums come back in. Yeah, nice tune. I actually quite enjoyed listening to it. Good work. Nice and chilled. Nice melody. Something I would put on in the background and just, I don't know, work on something. Good work. Okay. We've got a Spotify link.
Ooh, I can't breathe like this. No, ooh, suffocating me. I'm sinking underneath your love, but I can't get enough of you. Ooh, I can't breathe like this.
I feel like there's too much reverb on that vocal. Like it's sitting behind the reverb. That kick is really bad, in my opinion. It's like all click and no sub. Hardly any mid-range. And on that saw, there's like too much sub and mid-range, and it's like really muddy.
Ooh, I can't breathe like this. No, ooh, suffocating me slow. I can't breathe like this. No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, like, chopping up this, like, the S and the H sounds. Sibilance. Doesn't, I don't know, it just feels weird. Mostly I think it's the kick that is ruining the track. Jules hates all kicks. Yeah, most of the time. But it's true though, like 90% of the time kicks is what ruins a track. Like just a poor choice in the kick. I don't know why it's like, I mean, I had the same problem. Like if I look back on all my old songs, the kicks were just horrendous. But for some reason, like when people start producing, they can't hear if a kick is bad. Like to them, a kick just sounds like a kick. Like it all just sounds like the same thing. And like I was exactly the same. So yeah, I think it's just something that your ear starts to like pick up on, you know, when you can hear a kick that fits nicely and like is nice and full and you can feel it punch, but it's not like overpowering, then, you know, then it's right. But like most of the time kicks are either too clicky or have too much mid-range or not enough high-end or whatever. It's just, yeah, I understand though. It's hard to get it all figured out when you're starting out. Cool. Next up, Valentino Kovac. So this is probably going to be the last one. Damn, we've got a few more still. But yeah, I got to go at 5. So the last one for the day. This one better be good or I'm going to be mad. Well, guess what I'm going to say? I'll let you guys guess. Hang on, let me just... Someone keeps trying to call me. I don't understand why when someone calls you and you hang up, they just keep calling back. Like, don't they get the message? Yeah, so there we go. You guys guessed it right. Yeah, I don't like the kick. Jesus, man. People are ridiculous. There's also like a mid-range instrument, sounds like some chords or something. I don't know, almost like a sawy chord, maybe pad or something. I think it's just a bit too mid-rangey. Maybe it's the mid-bass. I think it's the mid-bass. Yeah, kick is too clicky. Good way to describe like a good sounding kick to me is like to imagine someone hitting like a pillow with a baseball bat, whereas this sounds like someone hitting like a bit of Tupperware with a, I don't know, an elastic band. So I think composition is alright. It's nice, it's chilled. It's not like giving me like serious emotions, but it's enjoyable at least. And I think like all the sounds and stuff fit together quite nicely, other than the kick. think through this section you need more drums in there. It's yeah, just having the kick is a bit boring, I think. Okay, cool. That's it for today. Thanks to everybody who sent tracks in. And I will probably be streaming some point next week. Continue working on that track I started this week. Kind of like it, so I want to try and figure out how to make it work. So have a lovely Friday, everybody, and a good weekend. Catch you later.